What's up, Charles?
Hey, brother, how are you?
You want to know the truth or you want me to lie?
For the first time, I'm gonna tell you, I want you to lie.
Feeling good, my man.
Yeah, me too. I feel top notch. Somebody made a post and used my name out of frustration. I don't know who that guy was, but he get the same wife as me.
It's a right true day, baby. It's a right true day.
Oh my
Remember right
goodness.
right true from
Yeah,
the
right through.
Pokemon?
Yeah.
Look at that beautiful card.
That was what break open. What you call that thing? Break open box or something like that. No.
This is the story behind these cards is my father-in-law, when he was still alive, he would
Mm,
buy these things for my kids.
mm,
My kids, and these cards were play cards. The kids used to play with them, but my father-in-law kept them
right.
preserved. This is from 1999, and
Oh.
um, so my father-in-law passed away quite a while ago. But we were cleaning out the shed, and we found all of these cards, all of these Pokemons, these old original series. So
Yeah.
I sent it away to get graded, and it's all graded. So we're gonna end up selling that,
Uh-huh.
and then the money is gonna go be split to the two kids because that was what my father-in-law wanted. So yeah, I was just looking through them. It's this one right here, Charlie. This little
Yeah. Yeah.
this card is about $350.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness! It's so that gonna be a good thing for the kids. And I got a bunch of. I got like 45 of them. They're not all worth 300, but
No, that's good.
one of these cards I don't have it, but the one that the one of the rare ones is worth about $30,000 right now. I don't have that card, unfortunately. Yeah, makes you want to go out and buy Pokemons and save them for 100 years.
Uh, the only cards that
Anyway,
I got two, but they're those hard plastic cards. They're really
yeah,
hard. Yeah, I got two of them. I didn't know what was that for, but then mine had a lot of nicks on it. On the top part. Then I realized what it was used for. That's when you slide it in the lock when you try breaking the house. That's what the cards were used for. No, no, folks, no, that was just a joke. Got to keep things lively today.
I tell you. Oh my God.
Got to keep things lively. Got to keep you upbeat. Anyway, like to say aloha to all of you today. Today is the 6th of February. And right now it's about 6:55. And I'm Uncle Charlie. That's Uncle Mel. Tonight is recap night on this beautiful Saturday evening. What a weekend. And I guess a lot of you know that tomorrow is Super Bowl Sunday. I hope we're going to talk about taking precaution. That's some some don't know the meaning of it, but we'll talk a little bit more about it later on.
You know, I won't say we live on Facebook, but all of our phones are set up with notifications. So when people
Yeah.
post, we get notified. And
Hmm.
there's a lot of information on there, and it's I don't know if Facebook, when they started Facebook, they realized how much of a tool they would be for so many people, good and bad.
Hmm.
But for us, it's our lifeline to all of you.
Hmm.
Can you imagine if we had to call each and every one of you every time we wanted to ask a question, or but so it's a wonderful tool for us, and for all of us to share with each other. And I'm touched so often by comments going between you folks, not even involving us, but people that have met each other on this show, and and became friends and have built relationships. And it touches my heart. It warms me up. And Charlie, I saw your post today,
Yeah.
and I gotta tell you, bro. I'll be honest with you, Charlie. People gonna think I'm lying, but I'm not. I'll be honest with you, Charlie. This morning, I had a feeling. I haven't talked to Patsy about it, saying that I'm tired already. I just tired. It's you, you know you we beating ourselves up. And when I say we, I'm talking all of us, our entire Ohana,
Hmm.
all of you, thousands of you that watch this show. I'm thinking we're beating ourselves up, and and no one's getting it. No one's getting it. I watched the news, like, were we surprised that there was going to be another variant case? People, yesterday and today, that's only two of them. There's others, two of them not community related. I mean, not not community, not
Travel.
travel related, not well, hello.
Hmm.
Did a bat come to Hawaii? Huh? Did the gorilla have sex with the bat, and now the gorilla has, no. Visitors came with the variant, and the variant is 60% more contagious than the original strain. So what does that tell you?
Well,
There
what?
will be more. There will be more. We should not be surprised. Everybody's like, oh my God, so there are going to be more. And I hate saying that. But see, Charlie, as I posted the other day, Charlie and I are realists. The lieutenant governor he's a dreamer. The governor is a hoper. We hope things, we hope, but we're realists, and we're gonna keep this show real. We're gonna keep this show real.
Well, I like to say, this one thing, just so I feel you. But let's get this one thing real clear out there. Okay, when we say that, there's people not getting it, we're not referring to any of you that are watching, because we all know you're getting it. Okay,
Yeah,
people that are not getting it is people that don't watch, that post, and they're telling us what they're going to do. So what we do is we have a way of taking the name down and going back over our feeds in the past and trying to see if we can find the name, because there's accountability and responsibility. That means that I'm accountable for you. The information I give out, it's given out so it helps you, hopefully. And like we said, if it doesn't work for you, take a pass and wait for the next one we bring out. But there are those out there, there's many of you that have cohesively stuck together and realize that, hey, we're going to get you as educated as possible. Then you can ask the questions too. And you'll see, I don't want to be the one that's saying, well, I'll go find out the answer. I want you to find out the answers too, so you get that sense of satisfaction that you ask the question of, say, a state official, and they're continually giving these gibberish responses that makes no sense, because everything has to align, right? It's just like when they first came out with the vaccine, a study had to be done, okay? And they told us straight up, the reason why we cannot answer about whether the transmissibility after you've been vaccinated is a plus or minus is because when the study was done, that was not looked at. It was just looked at, how well will it protect you? How will it suppress the symptoms that you may encounter? That's what the vaccine was for, to make sure that you don't get hospitalized. Okay. So I want to make sure that everybody understands that we're all together. But Mel has put some things together that's very eye-opening, and then we can discuss. We can discuss, and we're going to do it in a logical sense that all of you to understand, and hopefully, because like I said before, me personally, if I'm to be corrected, more power to you, because I welcome that. Because I'm not saying that I have all the answers. I try to follow that straight and narrow as much as I can to go and get those answers. So, but in any event, it will be interesting. It'll be interesting.
yeah. And I know there's a lot of you that believe that we really need to open now, and we respect all the opinions. I gotta tell you, I want to see our state open up. I want to see all my friends get back to work. I want to see this place flourish again, and I'm concerned. And there were many opportunities or options that we tried, Kauai tried, and obviously were rejected. So, but anyway, I read Charlie's post this morning, and I was thinking, it's so weird because I was feeling the same way, and it wasn't because of last night's show, because it was a great show last night. We had fun last night, and
Yeah.
after the show, Charlie and I spoke, and it was a great. We didn't even talk about anything negative. But for some reason, this morning, Charlie, as I was really the yin and the yang, the connection you and I have is incredible. It's just something that is there. I felt the same way, and I read your post, and I then I read the comments to your posts, and I said, hey, um, we can how are we going to stop? How can we, you know, we have to we gotta we're in this together, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Hmm.
Then I thought about the hurricane. I thought about Iniki, and I thought about how footless I was as a shelter manager out there at KCC at the community college with over 1,200 visitors, all complaining because they wanted to go home, and the airports were closed, the roads were closed, and they was being nasty about it. I'm thinking, wow. And yet, all of us that were there were just trying to show aloha. We were trying to be nice. We were trying to be cordial, accommodating. I mean, we had local people, managers of supermarkets that had shut down, uh, had us go over there and pick up food so we can come back. And myself and a bunch of other cops making sandwiches and cooking food for the visitors. I mean, that's aloha. That's what we did. And there were times that, yeah, people want to quit. People want to say, screw this already. F it, F it. I'm going to Vegas. F it. F it. If I get them, I get them. I'm young. I'm not going to get sick. I'm not going to die. I'm hearing that. I'm seeing that in the posts. And I feel for those people that haven't had a paycheck in a year and listening to the governor and saying, oh, yeah, we're going to have a new system. It's going to be 18 months. 18 freaking months? Come on, people. So anyway, I got onto thinking about the hurricane, and then I got onto thinking about how everybody had to come together. So I wanted to play a little video. It's just a short video. Please bear with me. Many of you have already seen it. Some of you may not. Once I turn it on, you're gonna know exactly what it is. And some of you go grab your tissue. But I wanted to bring everybody back to the point where we gotta do this together. And then we'll get onto the subject of what Charlie was talking about earlier, about how people are disregarding rules, not being part of the team. But this video, to me, is powerful, and I'll share that. I was hopefully it friggin' works.
Aloha. On September the 11th, 1992, Hurricane Iniki swept across this garden island of Kauai. Miraculously, in a very short time, flora and fauna blossomed in the fields, valleys, and inner forests. The awesome beauty of this island forever inspires the spirit of its people. You might call it Kauai Aloha.
are times when storms will come, and the winds of time will change. The sky will darken and hope seems far away. Somehow we'll make it through the rain. Walking alone, where waterfalls have no end. Walking alone, and hope will mark a new beginning. People working hand in hand, helping out a fellow man. Walking alone is the spirit of the land. When you feel let down, lost and alone, remember without love we can carry on, carry on. Where waterfalls have no ending. Walking alone, and hope will mark a new beginning. People working hand in hand, helping out a fellow man. Walking alone is the spirit of the land.
Whew.
Yep.
Oi, 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 oi.
You
Hang
back
on.
on. You back on. You're
Hang
back
on.
on.
I gotta get rid of that thing with the sound was coming out. Ah,
Yep. Well, folks, I think one thing that can be learned from that video is how hopefully, but we're in this together, not only Kauai, not only Honolulu or Oahu, I should say, Maui and Big Island, Hawaii Island. We're all in it together. And if anything I learned from that video, just watching it, I'm telling myself, we truly can be a beacon for the rest of the islands. And one thing that's happening right now is our mayor has done what he needed to do, and we continue to stay at the lowest rung of the ladder to not allow the virus to overcome us. But today, the reason why I did that post, Mel, is, and I wanted to tell the people, let's take a real hard look at this analogy, and that is, if you're outside barbecuing, right, you'll get a whiff maybe every so often throughout that barbecue of that Calvi wood burning, right? You'll get that whiff. But if you were to barbecue in a house, that Calvi smoke smell will permeate and intensify to the point you have a hard time breathing. That is like this virus. That's why they're telling you that you need to stay in an open area. You have to minimize your exposure, okay? Because if not, you're gonna be like that individual inside a house barbecuing as opposed to outside, okay? And you won't be able to survive that. There is no way. That carbon level will get so high, you're gonna pass out. But that's what we talk about this virus, and that's why I was kind of, you know, I saw the Big Island. They have this Super Bowl party being put on by a doctor, a naturopathic individual. I got this poster from, I believe it was from one of our viewers, and I just felt so heartbroken. I just said, I'm looking at the numbers that we got today. Okay, what, 106 or something like that. And I'm telling myself, Oahu again has the highest numbers. So I'm telling myself there's only two things that can happen. Those numbers are a reflection of those coming into the state and being picked up at the airport with a positive test. That's one way. The other way is that a person is sick and is seeking maybe urgent care, maybe doesn't require hospitalization, but is requiring some type of medical intervention. And that's how that number rose from that. And I say this because we don't have any surge testing going on. We don't have any surveillance testing going on. We don't have none of those programs going on right now. So there's no way of finding it where it's out there. So you ask yourself, how do these numbers come about? And when you look at that, then you'll understand either somebody took a test and they reached here and a test was positive, or they're requiring medical intervention. And that's why when we talk about opening up our borders to a pretest, coming here, okay, remember I told you now, if you take that test 72 hours prior to your departure, all that is telling anyone is that at the time the test was taken, you're negative. It doesn't say anything else. It doesn't say what happens when you landed. Okay? And that's why it's been recommended many times over. Hey, let's take a second test so many days after to make sure you didn't contract it at the airport. You didn't contract it because you had 72-hour window prior to getting on a plane. So if you came in from California, because don't tell me you took a test and you stayed idle, you stayed sterile for those 72 hours before you jumped on a plane. I don't think that happened. And if you did, congratulations to you. But you can't tell me that you did because I don't believe that. Because if you're going to go on vacation, you're going to need to buy your supplies. You're going to need to do a little shopping before you come to Hawaii, right? So, yes, you're going to go out into areas that you may get exposed. But remember that 72-hour testing only gives you that moment in time that your results show that you're negative. And that's the
Yeah.
reason why it's very, very difficult that when you have these Super Bowl parties. Now, tell yourself this. You go to these parties, you get seating, right? They tell you, you got to avoid exposure, right? Exposure, 15, 20 minutes, don't get exposed. So you said, I'm going to move around. How many of you going to give up on seat at a football, Super Bowl game? You're going to sit there for 2 hours. You ain't going to be moving unless you got to go to the bathroom. Other than that, you're going to block your all way down and you're going to be watching the game. Now, is everybody going to be 6 feet apart? Is everybody going to be in a closed area? You know, and then the thing about it is this. One of our sources, and I don't know if I told you this, Mel, one of our sources said that in the hospitals, when you look at the numbers, remember, and in fact, was you, Mel, if we look at those hospitals of the availability of beds, and maybe I leave it up to you explaining what those numbers represent. Because there were some openings, right? There were
Yeah.
some openings in those numbers. Why don't you explain to the people about those
Well, I
openings?
mean, unfortunately, the lieutenant governor, when he talks about how many beds are being used, that's COVID beds. He's telling you how many people that have COVID are using the ICU beds.
Yep.
But if you see the chart, the record, Maui's full. Maui's 100%. They don't have a bed. But are they all COVID patients? No. Does it matter if they're all COVID patients? No. It's an ICU bed. I mean, but again, the whole delivery of the information coming out of the governor's and lieutenant governor's office is very misleading, and I think that is the problem. That's why people are taking it lightly, because if you listen to the lieutenant governor, he paints a rosy picture. We're doing well. It was so awkward yesterday's press conference because the lieutenant governor went on and he talked about all the people we're going to vaccinate, the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. And then they asked the governor, he goes, well, we're begging for more vaccines because we're only getting 30 to 40,000 a week. So that numbers don't add up to what the lieutenant governor is saying. And that's the problem. So when the people hear that, their guard comes down because they're hearing the lieutenant governor tell you how rosy it is and that everything is going well. You know, and he jokes about the Super Bowl. Yeah, I'm a joker too. I like joking, but not at a damn press conference that people are there to get information. Talking about Tom Brady going to throw 30 touchdowns and blah blah blah. He going, oh, you're going to win his 30th Super Bowl. Come on, man. Talk about the truth. Talk about
Here,
the truth. Let people know that it's serious so they can get serious. How do you blame people for going out when they listen to that stuff and they think it's not that bad?
here's the truth about one thing now. And I don't know if it's funny. I think it's funny because if you were to go to a party, right, and you're rooting for your team, are you really gonna, and your team scores a touchdown, are you really gonna stand there and not go, yeah, right? Because how does this how does this virus travel? That's why today I was looking up about droplets and micro droplets, right? Droplets is heavier, denser, supposed to carry more, but yet it drops through the floor. Micro droplets doesn't carry as much virus, floats all over the place. But you know, for us that who are not epidemiologists, who are not science, science driven, all we know is this: there's some danger involved. How do we know that? Because people are getting sick. So if you go to these so-called super spreader events, there comes a moment in time that you're going to have to restrain that if your team makes a touchdown, we be one just to go and sit quietly. I don't think so.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Because remember when they said, okay, we're going to open karaoke bars. No worry, got it covered. The people who got the microphone, they go into the glass box and they sing to the crowd. And yet the crowd all outside, out in open, singing, yelling at the top of their lungs. I said, okay, what's wrong with this picture?
Yeah, Tyson brings up a good point. Not all the gatherings are bad. Not all, I mean, whether it's a Super
True.
Bowl or not,
True.
not all the gatherings are irresponsible people. And thanks for bringing that up, Tyson. But when Charlie's talking about those places, that bars and restaurants, I don't know about you, man, but when I watch football, I don't even care if it's a Super Bowl or if it's not. I get loud. My particles go everywhere. That's just how I am. And I think most people that are going to go to a Super Bowl party are the same way. Tomorrow's game is going to be a tough game. It's going to be an amazing game. We got two studs. That's quarterbacks. I mean, it's going to be loud. And
Well, let me ask you this, Mel. And Tyson is right. There's no qualms about that. As long as you know where your guests are coming from, right? But tell me, are you going to do temperature checks? I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Do you know
yeah,
exactly where your guests were 24 to 48 hours prior to coming to your house? I don't think so. But again, that's your call. And I'm not saying one way or the other. My wife and I, yes, if we look like hermits, why? My wife is there in age. I'm there in age. We love each other. We want to spend many more years on this beautiful earth of ours. I don't have to go and push the envelope and die early and leave my wife a widow. Okay? That almost happened in 2012. It ain't never going to happen again, as long as I can help it.
yeah. And I mean, small gatherings at your home with your family. I mean, come on, guys. We're not talking about. I think people understand what we're talking about. We're talking about those super spreader events. That's going to be. It's going to happen. I mean, Kauai is not different from anywhere else in the world, and I think people got to understand. And yet, before we go on, I wanted to thank for that video that I played. Art Umezu, Sue Kanoho. Those people went out and really did that video, as well as all the entertainers. I think you recognize a bunch of them, Charlie. You saw
Yeah.
Glenn Medeiros, Willie K, Noelani Cipriano, Titus Kirimaka, Graham
You know who
Nash.
I miss? You know who I miss in that photo? I saw him and he was smiling. He had a blue shirt and he always wore a blue shirt at the council. Glenn Mickens.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
miss that guy, boy.
that was his
I mean,
UCLA jacket. He played. He coached for UCLA.
miss that
You know
guy.
that he played. He played for the with Jackie Robinson. He
Yeah.
played. He actually played for the pro baseball. But
You know,
but again,
he's the only guy I gotta tell you that I will. You know, whenever I talk to him, he go, "Hey, Charlie," pap, he'll hit me in my chest, and he didn't know I had open heart surgery, so he'd be keep on whacking with it and cut me open, and then he used to wonder, "Are you mad at me?" I says, "Glenn, I just had open heart surgery." He nearly fainted.
yeah,
He nearly fainted.
yeah. He was very like that.
Yeah.
But the whole purpose of that video was to remind everyone that we all got to do our part. You know, if you
Mm.
look at the similarities between post hurricane and COVID, think about it. Um, Food lines, no one working, everybody helping each other, sharing. And I don't know about you, Charlie, but I got to tell you, man, I'm actually an optimistic person. I'm a very positive guy, but I don't see that. I mean, I see a lot of organizations coming together and doing the food stuff and all of that. Um, but I don't see, we didn't have social media back then, so you couldn't really hear people's real opinions and stuff. But as you read all the posting and you see the hurtful postings and the hurtful comments being made, and it's not here. It's not how it was. And I guess I gotta just accept that. But I'm trying to remind people that listen, this is like a hurricane. The difference is the hurricane came and went, left the destruction to fix. This one hasn't left. It's still coming. It's not stopping, and we gotta be patient and we gotta be strong. And that's I'm hoping I'm hoping that some of you never saw that before and just blew your mind because it's so long ago. But for those of us that were here, man, it was just like yesterday. And we gotta. It's the bottom line is we gotta stick together, people. We gotta, and sticking together and helping each other means doing what we need to do,
Yeah.
wearing our masks. Don't go where it's not necessary. And the biggest problem I see right now, Charlie, is when all the leadership talk about is the local people, what we gotta do, right? It's all they talk about is we gotta be disciplined. We gotta wear the mask. We cannot go Super Bowl parties. We cannot do this, cannot do that, cannot do this. Not one mention about travel, even though the CDC is saying do not travel. CDC does not recommend any travel. But yet, all of the airlines, I'm not going to single out anyone because they're all guilty, are sending these emails with dirt cheap flights encouraging people to go on their vacations now. Not one mention about that. Why isn't the governor or the lieutenant governor coming public and saying, hey, we don't appreciate you guys doing that. We don't appreciate you inciting our local people to travel when the CDC says not to. Anyway, it's the whole thing is about travel. The whole thing is about getting the tourists here, and hopefully, as the lieutenant governor said yesterday, hopefully we do better. Wow, hope is not a strategy. Hope is not a strategy. So
Well, I just received, I'm looking at a report here from a source. They got a lot of employees of our airlines, of the airlines with the name Hawaiian, that filled up standby seats that weren't filled to Vegas. So I'm looking at a whole bunch of them right now that's going to go to Vegas. Hey, that's your flight privileges. Hey, I get it. I get it. But it's like, woo. So, we just got to wait and see now. It's a wait and see. But, I know, I think I talked about this before, and I want to be compassionate when I say this. When the when the mistake was made to press that missile alert button, there was no hesitation. Nobody questioned. Everybody, even though we've never had a missile attack in Hawaii, right? But when that missile alert went off, everybody did what they had to do to run for cover. Think about it now, okay? What a little can do can send everybody scattering. Yet when we try to tell everybody, be safe about this virus, I mean, it's almost like we got to show you the reason why. And one death, two death, three death, if that doesn't, if that's not convincing enough of why you got to be careful, then all I can say is, man, you guys get thick skin. You guys get thick skin because I don't know about you, but it's you know, and the thing that I'm most wondering right now, and correct me, Mel, if I'm right or wrong on this, but when we talk about the variant, you remember how they came across this? They did a cross section of sampling at the state lab to do that genome sequencing, which takes about 7 to 8 days. So it's really not from like a batch I was taking yesterday and decided to sequence the thing. They went into their little arsenal of samples that they already have and they of positive cases, and they started to do this, I guess, genome sequencing, and that's how they came across. So what does that tell you? The variant was already here. You know, the ones that came up positive? It just didn't come in recently. It was already here.
Mhm.
So if all that time went by, then I asked the viewing public out there, that means that that individual who was required to stay home, all he know he was COVID positive. He did his isolation, he did his quarantine, he's back out in a general public. He didn't know that he had the UK, the B.11.7. He didn't know that. He or she didn't know that. All of a sudden, it's revealed, but it's too late now to go trace back and go, hey, test subject number 33857 met with so many people. It's too late to go do the contact tracing. They're probably gone already. So guess what? What if it jumped onto that person jumped on a plane, and maybe that person goes to a region of the United States that never doesn't have a variant, and now the variant shows up there. That's the sequence of the spread. Now, are we that advanced to do contact tracing that way? No, not right now.
Well, it's impossible, like you said, Charlie, because by the time they're identified in their genome sequencing, which they're doing random sampling, not every test is getting sequenced. So by the time this comes up, it's from a local resident who didn't travel, that has been all over the place, visiting friends, working, store, restaurant, whatever. You'll never trace it back to where the origin was. We know they can come out and tell you it's community spread. Of course, they're going to tell you that because they don't want to put any damage to the travel industry. But we know for a fact that that variant was not created here. We know that that variant, and trust me, man, it's got to be all over the state. We have one on Kauai. If we have one, we have more because those people did not know they had the variant. They didn't know, and they were, and that's why people. It's more important now than ever before for us to be very smart and wash your hands and wear your mask and disinfect and all of that stuff. Because now we got this variant floating around, and the people that are carrying it don't know they have it. They took their little test the 3 days before they travel. And remember, Charlie, 3 days before travel, they could have been exposed the fourth day, the fifth day, the sixth day, the seventh day before they took the test, and the test would still be negative. So that whole system is wrong. Without a post-arrival test, that thing ain't helping. It's not a safe travels program. And and that's why it's more important than not that we gotta do what we gotta do it for ourselves. Now, real quick, because I know Sue Kanoho asked me to share this
Mhm.
because this is what's going around now, and it's not that we travel, but this is the kinds of crap that is going around. These scrubs that are out there, scammers, and they buy the safetravels.com domain, Hawaii safetravel.com, safetravelshawaii.com, safetravelhawaii.com. This websites take them to links telling travelers that they need to pay for the safe travel program. They need to download, they need to pay. This is all unofficial websites. And just for your information, I just wanted to share that with you guys because there are scrubs out there that are taking advantage of people. No one should travel. This is not by any stretch a promotion of travel. I'm just letting you guys know that whenever we have these types of crises, you're always going to have people out there taking advantage of people. So I'm going to go ahead and share this to my page, and I ask all of you to share it as well because it's nonsense. It's people out there that, yeah, Dave Harker said they should block these domains. They should because they're fraud and they're scams. So anyway, just so
They're
that you
just
guys
adding
know,
more confusion. That's all it is.
I'm going to share it right now, as you can see, as I speak. And those are the kinds of things that irritate me to no end. And those guys should go. We should go after them. It's the system is already messed up. This whole safe travel program is so confusing and ridiculous. You don't want to add in these kinds of things. So just be aware that those things are going on. Horrible. Thank you, Sue Kanoho, for bringing that to my attention and posting that. I ask all of you all to share it. Share it. You can find it on my page and just share it. Not now. Don't leave the show. Don't leave the show.
Another thing that I wanted to talk about was the fact that, our state officials, they're very, they're promoting to, open up to South Korea travel. While that may be, or maybe, depending on how you view it, may be a good thing, they want to do it with a 72-hour negative pretest coming in. The funny thing about it is when those travelers, when they're ready to go back home to South Korea, they got to do a 14-day quarantine. And yet our numbers are lower than them.
Yeah.
So, and yet when they come over here, maybe they're already practicing aloha, and that is, here, we come here to share with you. Share what? The virus. Yeah, that's right. I just don't, for the life of me, I just couldn't understand that, but hey.
I understand. It's the race to reopen tourism. That's what it is. And I mean, why would you not want to come to Hawaii? We get punished. Yeah, I won't say punished because we are doing so well based on the numbers. And what bothers me a lot is when people, and I see this in comments and I see it from people that I know that are friends of mine, and say, oh, we only had so many people die. How many people in the hospital? How many people died? When the reports come out on the cases, you get that wise asses that come up and say, how many people died yesterday? Like, wow. You see, you cannot have a low number of deaths with an unsafe practice. The reason we have the low number of deaths is because we have a stricter regulation than the mainland, because the people in Hawaii, more people in Hawaii use their masks. I talk to my friends in California, no one wears a mask. In Florida, non-existent. So you cannot use that. It's apples and oranges, people. So that's your argument to open up the state, because not enough people died. So you want to open up the state so more people die, and then we close again. So I think it's there is a correlation between safety. When safety goes up, deaths and hospitalizations go down, and it's converse the opposite way. So I don't understand why people use the fact that only two people died yesterday. Well, maybe you should go sit with their family. Yeah, maybe you should go find out who it was, and maybe you should go talk to
No,
the
Mel,
family and tell them.
Mel, this is what happens, Mel. When danger goes up, right? When danger goes up, the common sense goes down.
Yeah, but I mean, because it sounds like a very valid argument, right? It does. You cannot eat more and lose weight, right? The reason we lose weight is because we eat less. You cannot have it both ways. And so that's what's bugging me when people do that, because it kind of discredits the source of the information that is providing the number of deaths. Yeah. Also, yesterday we find out, hey, had 5 inmates died in January, but they never tell us in January. Really weird. So you start questioning even that number. But for me, one death is too many. Uh, and if the virus was gone, if we knew that the virus was gone and there was no way of it coming in, and we only had to deal with the virus, the remnants of the virus that was on the island, that's a different story. But we're not there. We're far from there. We're far from getting people vaccinated. We're far from isolating travelers from hot states and cities into our state. We are getting pounded from all angles in the military. When you're in a compound and you take in rounds from all over the compound, it's real hard to get the troops out to stop them all. And that's kind of how I feel. We've got just too many damn fires, and we're trying to put them out, and we just don't got the resources. We definitely don't have the common sense.
Well, let's kind of what I wanted to do tonight was just review one thing, and that is, I was very proud when the lieutenant governor was able to bring on Dr. Fauci during that press conference. Remember that conference he had with Fauci? But that kind of went sideways on him. From then to now, he's never invited Fauci back on, right? And
No way.
and he's never, I would love for him to say, Dr. Fauci, we're going to open up with no quarantine. What do you think about that? And Fauci going to go into it. He's like, let me think about it.
Yeah, I think that's why I emailed Fauci, because Fauci, number one, the lieutenant governor would never have Fauci on right now. I was hoping, I got the autoresponder saying, I'm busy. I'll get to your email at some point. I was really hoping he would at least respond. He didn't have to come on the show, but he would never bring him on, because he took Fauci out of context the last time. He took Fauci out of context the last time, but no one can dispute, whether you agree or disagree. I'm not saying that, but you cannot dispute what the CDC is saying. Now, the opponents of stopping travel are saying, why you believe the CDC? Why? Why would you believe the CDC? Why do you choose to believe the CDC? Why? Because they're the experts, right? But if it doesn't meet their agenda, no. Don't listen to the CDC. They're all political. Oh my God. Okay, don't listen to the CDC. Go listen to the disease control organizations in the other countries. Are they all freaking political? Are they all drinking the same Kool-Aid?
No.
Come on, man.
We gotta, whether we like it or not, it goes both ways. If we're gonna listen to the CDC, you listen to the CDC in the good and the bad. That's just how it is, because they're the experts. Just like that, we talked about it that night when that San Diego Zoo, that gorilla was diagnosed with COVID, and you hit the nail on the head, Mel, when you said, I wonder who will be the one sticking that swab up the gorilla's nose.
Well, now get the anal swab. So probably easier to get him in the anal swab than the nose. He cannot see you from the back. Oh, that's no good. Sorry, I retract that statement. I retract that statement. No, I mean, and I know our friend Dave is saying that the CDC changes their tune or whatever. Listen, we all know this is a relatively new virus, and that new information will come up that will cause positions to change. I mean, that's just you got to roll with the punches. But I think as leaders, as government leaders and decision makers, you got to utilize the best information that you have available at that time. And I mean, I think that's just how it has to be done. And I think all of the experts, Fauci,
Yeah.
a lot of the experts have changed their positions on many issues involving COVID from back in February because we have learned so much more about this virus, and we still have a lot more to learn.
You know, I'm afraid. I just now they recommend because the variant is the transmissibility is greater. You know, the exposure time seems to be less now, right? So they're asking that you double mask. Okay. Heaven forbid we get one more variant on top of a variant and they tell you triple mask. Next thing you know, you can buy a whole box of 25 and you wear them one time because you're gonna have to wear 25 masks. I don't know, man. It's getting scary, but there's, you know, I think I said this before, we need some type of behavioral modification because if we're gonna lick this thing, what is the best thing right now made available to you? And it's even greater than the mask. It's just no come in contact. You know, come in contact. You don't need a mask, right? So just stay away. But you know, the social process is natural. We all need socializing. So my wife and I decide to, you know, she and I we socialize. It's just she and I. We're like, you know, we're like on this sailboat going around the road. Just she and I. We're riding it out. We talk to our kids, but we don't get to come in contact with them physically. We talk to our grandchildren, but we don't come in contact physically. Does it hurt? Yes. But right now, what would our grandchildren or our children want to see? Two parents who are alive or two parents who are not here on this earth. You know, I want to be around for them. I want to be around for them. And if it means I got to be responsible now, then so be it. I don't care about
Mhm.
anything else. What I do worry about, and again, it goes back to what we first talked about when this show first started tonight. And that is when we're having these events, everything is based on how much of an understanding do you have about this virus? If you know, they said, oh, you know, it's okay if nobody around, no need wear your mask. Why that's not a good thing is because then you condition yourself and then you wonder why sometimes you go inside one store, you go, oh, I forgot my mask. Because you weren't conditioned enough to know that whether you need the mask or not. When you grew up as a small child, you were conditioned to put on underwear, right? So as you get older, you wonder, yeah, I never remember putting on Beverly's, but I got on a pair of Beverly's. You're conditioned to put it on. And we got to do that with masks. You got to condition yourselves, whether you like it or not. And I think that's what the problem is right now is that behavioral modification. How do we modify our behavior so we can stay in line to help? Because remember, when this whole thing started off, Mel, what was our theme? Flatten the
Flatten the
curve,
curve,
right?
flatten the curve, flatten the
No, they
curve.
don't even talk about flatten the curve. Right now, it's like, okay, we're not gonna flatten the curve to what we do. What is the new term now? Minimize the damage, I guess. That's the new term they use it.
No, the term is ekomomai. You remember the first go around, we shut down, Charlie, when our numbers were much less than they are today.
Right.
We shut down, and it's okay. We go on. We go on. Watch your language on the show, please. Watch your language on the show, man. You feel free to engage and debate, but watch the language, please. you know, they right now it's almost as if it's not even thought about anymore. It's just we have made the decision. We rolling forward. Look at Honolulu. Honolulu is thinking about opening up bars, opening up everything else. Wow,
Mhm.
wow. I'm thinking, who? The numbers have not gone down. I mean, you're gonna see that. You're gonna see the little roller coaster. But to just jump on that open up right now, and the variant, even we don't even know the extent of the variant on the island, and we know that the variant is 60% more contagious. So I think that's totally irresponsible, totally. But that's their choice, right? That's their choice, and we'll see if the governor approves that. We'll see shortly, I guess.
Well, I'm just kind of wondering that I want to make sure, I don't know if the gentleman agrees with me or disagrees with me, the one that
Yeah,
swore. So I guess he disagrees.
yeah, but I know that I don't agree with him, so he just went bye bye. He just went bye bye. Those kind of guys, they just drive me nuts. Listen, Charlie and I, and we have a lot of people here that don't agree or don't agree with everything we say, and that's perfectly fine. I appreciate the debate. I enjoy the debate, and I really enjoy having this guy. I blocked him already, Rosie. He's gone. Um, but when you come on and you start again, like I said, you go personal attacks or you say nonsense, you drop the f bomb. Bye bye. It's that simple. Yeah. Now is not buying into that shutdown of free speech only if you. Well, national politics gets you blocked, but also the F words get you blocked too, Sandy. Um, anyway, again, see what that kind of people, they just distract us from having a decent discussion. So
No, no,
there's no need.
I just wanted to know why he was upset with behavioral modification. I'm not saying that, you're gonna be one test tube monkey. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that if it's just like if it's against the law to drink and drive, that's a behavioral modification. You want to drive, don't drink.
Yeah.
If you're gonna drink and drive, then no, and you don't adjust your behavior and you get caught, no, you're gonna get arrested. And the reason I say that is only because I was one of those for several years with my police that would go searching for people that wanted to hurt other people because they didn't use common sense when they drink and drive. I wanted to make sure, we wanted to make sure that the roads were safe because the roads is only not for the drunk who's going to drive. It's for everybody to get from point A to point B. So everybody needs to operate in a safe manner. And if that element of drinking and driving puts everyone in complete danger, then we remove that element.
Yeah. I don't like blocking people. The guy in his picture, he looks like wearing a Navy uniform. Gosh, man, there's not too many people that respect the vets more than I do, and it pains me to do that. But Dave brought up a good point that Facebook, we got a good thing going here, people, for all of us. Charlie and I don't get paid, so there's no financial incentive to be here. But Facebook can take your account away like that, and then we'd be done. So thanks, Dave, for reminding me about that. But yeah, that one I forgot about that. I bumped him because he was being a dick. That's all. So, anyway, whew, guys, tomorrow is Super Bowl Sunday. Please, please, please be safe.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do, Charlie, is when you wrap up your comments, and then I'll wrap up, and then I'm gonna end it with those that came on late. I'm gonna play that video one more time. So if you saw it already, you can leave. But if you haven't, hang out, watch the video, and think about, are we doing the best we can for our community? Anyway, what's up, Charles?
Well, my closing comment is this. You know, I some
I
people
know
that
that guy had pissed you off. That's what it is, Charlie.
no,
You're so
no,
angry right now. Eat
no.
your Snicker. Eat
I
your
did already.
Snicker.
I ate it so fast. I don't know. It's I don't even know how I ate it so fast. I didn't even taste it. It's just I only have wrappers. But I did want to say that you know we're in some troubled times, and I know we'll make it through. But you know we're gonna get some scrapes along the way. But like anyone will tell you that you know we don't have to get scraped. We if we just do it wisely and do it smart. Um, for those of you out there who knows Uncle Charlie for many years, and those who just met me, you know, it takes a lot to get me upset. So you know, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna get upset, and I'm not gonna start now. I'm not gonna start now. But I do know one thing, and that is what saddens me is I don't have the ability to turn it off if I get once I get started, and that's the dangerous part. And I don't want to be that way. I've seen too many friends fall victim to that, and I refuse to be that way. But tonight it's all about understanding this virus, understanding what it can do, and we just wanted to share some light and recap this past week's events. And you know, it's sad to say that we are still getting some nonsense talk coming out of people in high places, and we're expected to follow them. And I'm not one of those that can revolt and say, you know, he's stupid, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm just gonna say, for those who are vulnerable, I can see why they'll buy into it. And we just gotta hope that we wrap our arms around those who are vulnerable and just say, hey, take your time. This is what we got to present. Examine the facts, and then you make your decision. But don't jump heads first into this whole thing because you're gonna get hurt. Because why? Who would have known just finding my brother 2019 would be the last year I even get to touch my brother and feel his, you know, feel his love. Who knows? You know, we just found each other. I wish I could spend at least 10, 20 more years, but I won't have that. All I have is a photograph of us, several photos. And I can talk with my other brothers. And the thing is, if he would have died of anything else, I probably could accept it. But what I can't accept is he died of COVID. Did he have to die of COVID? No. COVID was so new. What can I say? We didn't know nothing about it, but it happened. It came that fast. And that's why I posed the question the last time now. Why is it that some people died over a lengthy time hospitalization from COVID, and some people just catch it and within a matter of a week or less, they're gone. And they're healthy people on top of that. Because there's no real understanding of why it happens, that's why I said we just got to be safe. Okay? Because you may get it, you may outrun it. Fine, I'm glad for you. But what if it's your mother? What if it's your brother or sister and they get it and they don't follow the same path of recovery that you got? You're gonna be kicking yourself in a corner and trying to understand, hey, I made it through. How come they're not? How come they're getting worse? And sometimes the worst, the inevitable might be they will pass away. And all I'm saying is you don't want to get to that point. You don't want to get to that point. Okay? Now,
Well, I just wanted to. Tyson says, Uncle Charlie, I know how I can make you all nuts. I'm gonna drop off candy by your house, but instead of Reese's, I'm gonna give you good candy like Nerds, Skittles, and gummy bears. Don't do that, Tyson. We all gonna pay the price for that. Anyway, Tyson, for you tomorrow, Tampa Bay 30, Kansas City 27.
is that the two teams playing the Super Bowl?
Yep,
Oh, I thought it was Chicago and Dallas. I had the wrong Super Bowl.
they're in the preliminary. They're in the preliminary matches. They're gonna play before the main game. See, Tampa Bay, TB, Tom Brady, TB equals GOAT. That's my prediction, guys. You can take that to the bank, but no bet on that because I'm horrible. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Hope you guys had a good time. We again, it seems like we're beating a dead horse, and we are. But look, they're all upset because I had go with Tampa Bay. But anyway, I don't care. My team is the Steelers, so I don't really care. But I think Tom Brady gonna win. But remember this, guys. Tomorrow when you guys celebrate at home, I cannot stop you from going to a Super Bowl party. But if you go, wear
Be
your
safe.
mask, social distance, disinfect, do all of that, please. I mean, for everybody else. And again, like I said, we started off the show with the video Kauai Aloha. I'm gonna end the show with that. If you already saw it, that's fine. If you want to watch it again, I'm gonna turn it on, and that's how we'll roll out the show tonight. Appreciate you guys so much. That video means a lot to people that were there, and if you haven't seen it, it'll blow you away. So anyway, Charlie, thank you again, Charlie.
Love you,
Um,
my brother. Take care.
we'll be back on Monday night at 7 o'clock. Oops.
Yep.
Hang on. Yeah. No, I say that kind of here. I still worked up. I drinking too much coffee. So until Monday night, guys, love you guys. Take care. God bless. Watch the video. We'll see you guys on Monday. Aloha.
Aloha. On September the 11th, 1992, Hurricane Iniki swept across this garden island of Kauai. Miraculously, in a very short time, flora and fauna blossomed in the fields, valleys, and inner forests. The awesome beauty of this island forever inspires the spirit of its people. You might call it Kauai Aloha.
There's a place where flowers grow, and the air is always clean, where people live their lives to be free, to love someone, to live in harmony. There's a place where lovers go to walk along the beach as the rays of sun shine softly on the water and the ocean breaks gently on the reef. Kauai Aloha, where waterfalls have no name. Kauai Aloha, and hope will mark a new beginning. People working hand in hand, helping out a fellow man. Kauai Aloha is the spirit of the land. There are times when storms will come, and the winds of time will change. The sky will darken and hope seems far away. Somehow we'll make it through the rain. Kauai Aloha, where waterfalls have no name. Kauai Aloha, and hope will mark a new beginning.
right, everybody. You guys stay safe. Enjoy. Have a great Sunday. That one gets me all the time, bro. Jeez, I gotta. Oh, hang on. There we go. All right. Aloha, guys. Love you guys. See you guys on Monday. Stay safe.
Thank you.